Welcome back to another episode of New Fantasyland, the series where I rebuild Fantasyland over in the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World into a more current and more enjoyable section of the park for everyone. Last video, if you missed it, we did cover adding Beauty and the Beast as an attraction to the Beauty and the Beast section of the park. Now, if you did miss that, the link to that will be in the description below. But this episode, we will be covering what I believe we should do to Small World. But we'll get into that up next. Hello everybody, it's Michael from Hallowed Thrills, and before we get into today's episode, make sure that you are subscribed and you have the bell notification icon turned on to get notified whenever I post a video. And for all things that I post, to be honest. And while you're down there, also, if you have not followed both my Instagram and my Twitter, both the links to those will be in the description below. And also, lastly, if you have not checked out my TeePublic store for the merch that I have and the merch that I'm possibly working on in the near future, a new design may be coming soon. But if you go and check that out and purchase some merchandise, some of the benefits from that will go directly towards me to help support the channel. So that'd be great if you guys did that. Now, with all that out of the way, let's finally get into today's episode. So today's video topic, if you saw by the title, is about Small World and replacing it with a Disney princess movie that is very popular and already has a section themed to her very close to the attraction that would be Small World. Now, so the Disney princess, if you've not already figured it out now, is Rapunzel from Tangled. I believe that there should be a Tangled themed dark ride in the location of Small World. Either whether they keep it a boat ride or develop a new ride system, either one would work. I just believe that Tangled deserves to have its own ride, as Rapunzel deserves to have her own ride in the Magic Kingdom, and replacing Small World with her would make the most sense, as it is right next to her already made area, like I had said. Now, I still do believe that the boat system would work, whether they need to make a new storyline or make it like a walk through the movie, like I've been saying for the other part, where that attraction was a walk through the movie. It just all depends on what Disney would like to do if this were to happen. Now, I do believe, like I said, the boat system would work for theming, and also for the boat scene with the paper lanterns from the movie. That would be a really cool thing to see Disney do in this attraction if it were to happen. Now, if they do keep the boat system the same, that would also mean that the track layout would most likely stay the same and would go unchanged. Looking at the ride blueprints here, the ride is split up into 6 different showrooms, and each would need to be rethemed. The first room, which stands out to me, is the 4th room here, as you can see right here. This could be used perfectly for the paper lantern scene that I had said about earlier. You put the little bit on the little peninsula, and it would just be like you're circling them in that little scene from the paper lanterns. The station, now that could be themed to a numerous amount of things, but the one thing that I really thought of was the walls of the inside of the tower. Now, when it could just be like strung about with different paintings, different arts, like a whole bunch of different stuff, and could have little Easter eggs regarding the song When Will My Life Begin. Just all the different things that she says in that song in the movie could just be scattered throughout the station. Now, the first room, which would be a transition scene showing Rapunzel growing up in the tower with Mother Gothel, and as Mother's Knows Best plays, that'd be like a really good setup to get you into the ride. Gives you like a little bit of backstory if you hadn't seen the movie. And then the second room, you would have Rapunzel interrogating Flynn as he's restrained in the chair. I just think that would be a really funny scene to see, made up with animatronics. See just a little Pascal just looking really judgmental during that entire scene. It would just be really cool to see that that whole area play out, and to see what Disney could pull off with their amazing Imagineering that they do. The third scene is inside the Snuggly Duckling, which would be an amazing scene to see how much detail Disney could really pack into that small area. I would just love to see all the little tiny details make you really feel like you are in the Snuggly Duckling during that whole musical number that they do. It'd just be really amazing to see. It's just all about how amazing Disney could make this if this were to happen. Every scene would be just amazing. The fifth scene, which you can see right here, is where they fight with Mother Gothel and end up cutting Rapunzel's hair off. And if they could animate the hair turning from the beautiful blonde that it is to the brown that it ends up being after the magic leaves it after being cut, that would be, honestly, that would be really cool, as well as showing Mother Gothel going from young to old as she ages due to not being able to have Rapunzel's hair powers. It would just be really cool to see how they would animate that. But definitely the hair could be done. I 100% believe that that could easily be done. Now, the final room, of course, would be Rapunzel being reunited with her parents. So I just think that it would just be like a really nice ending to the attraction. You have her to meet up with the parents meet Eugene at this point, but and then you just go on, they would just go on to the end of the attraction. It would just be a really nice way to tie up the story very quickly, very nicely, and just wrap up the whole movie. Now, I do believe this attraction could definitely work, and it fits right into the already themed area, like I said. I do think that it would be a family favorite attraction because of the movie already being well renowned with a lot of different families and there being a very popular film. And I do see that this attraction could possibly bring somewhere from a 30 to a 35-minute wait if it were to exist. This is all hearsay if the attraction were to exist, based on like my thoughts on how popular the ride system is, the movie is, just the theming, and how much of a crowd it could bring in. Now, the other thing that I want to add to this area, other than that attraction, is a meet and greet. And we have a very small backstage area, as you can see here, that would work, and I do think, if utilized correctly, it could be a very nice meet and greet area for Rapunzel and Eugene. Now, it would be a very small area, but I think it could work out, and like I said, allow Rapunzel and Flynn to have a very nice themed meet and greet that they don't have right now. Rapunzel has her meet and greet stuffed in with the other princesses in the hall, but I do think that she deserves her own area, and it would be nice to have her and Flynn, because he doesn't really meet up and he doesn't have a meet and greet in the parks. I also believe another thing that they could add to this meet and greet is a Maximus animatronic that you could take a picture with, just similar to the BB-8 animatronic that they have over at the docking bay. Oh, not docking. Is that what it's called? Docking bay over at Hollywood Studios, I think. But anyways, it would just be a really cool thing to add as well to that already whole cool meet and greet that would be there. Now, what would I theme that area to? Now, that comes up to two options. You could either have the Snuggly Duckling or the inside of her tower. Now, one of the two that I believe would work better for the area that you were given is the inside of Rapunzel's tower, as it's a very confined space. The tower is a confined space, so it works out with theming as well as the allowed space that they do have. So that wraps up today's episode. If you enjoyed, let me know in the comments below what you think about this new addition to Fantasyland. Do you think that Small World should go on the wayside and be replaced by a Tangled attraction? Do you think a Tangled attraction should even go into New Fantasyland? Do you think that Rapunzel deserves her own meet and greet with Eugene and Maximus? Just let me know what your thoughts about this whole concept that I have for the new area. Just let me know in the comments below. Also, if you did enjoy and you don't feel like commenting, make sure you drop a like. It lets me know that I'm doing a good job. But as always, I've been Michael, and this has been Hollow Thrills, and I'll see you guys next time.